let's talk about EFS system in AWS. It's an elastic file system, which is very different from block storage and S3. If you look to unorganized structure, I mean object storage, which is provided by S3 bucket, and if you are looking for a block storage and which are dedicated to one particular EC2 instance, then we go with the block storage. And but this is a shared file system, so it can be shared among different multiple machines. EFS system. And what is more important is the data persistence. Okay, is supported by this services. Okay, so what is data persistence is the data state is going to be live even after the process which created the data is stopped or died or crashed. So if you look at the example from our daily you know so when we use the Google Chrome, so then there are multiple tabs and we are working and our machine is up and running, right? And suddenly the machine crashes or anything happens, and the machine reboots, and we open the Chrome and it tries to open the all the tabs which we have been opened earlier, right? So this is called the data persistence between two events, right? Between 2 points in time. So earlier, before crash happens and the after, so the data is going to live, and many operations in or AWS mechanism. So many operations are writing the data, right? And probably they are going to crash some time whenever, but we are able to retrieve the data, even after that process. That is called data persistence. Okay, that's a protection of the data basically, and the same state of data is going to be lived. So, and apart from that, there are different attributes like durability, scalability, elasticity, and availability. So, when we call it as a system is durable. So this is a measurement of small errors which happens when multiple write operations happens on the disk, right? So let's say we have a EFS system and multiple cloud services or multiple machines are writing the data to the disk. But in terms of gigabytes and petabytes and terabytes of data is going to written onto the disk somehow, and one of the bytes is loosened up. We lost the byte, or probably the corrupt. We have corrupted the data. So this measurement is called durable, and if that error is going to be zero, then system is going to be a perfect durable. So in the case of elastic file system, the durability is going to be supported, and now the scalability. So as in other AWS services, so the scalability is the property of the system, how it handle the growing amount of work, you know. So it's going to be handled by adding the resources. That is called a scalability. How much it can scale up to, right? Scale up, scale down, right? So depending upon the workload, it's going to add the resources, and it is going to reduce the resource automatically, right? So this is scalable file system basically, and the elasticity is the the amount by which a system is able to adapt the workload changes. How it can update the workload changes in provisioning and deprovisioning the resources. So let's say any web services, multiple people are or maybe a commercial website. So depending upon the particular occasion, let's say Christmas occasion, so multiple people are, or loads of traffic is there in on web service and demand is going to be high. Then while provisioning the resources, yeah, right, the system is going to sustain and going to serve all the requests on a given time. So that is the degree, the amount by which the system can change according to the workload. Okay, how it happens is it provision the resources, we deprovision the resources. And the availability is the system is always up and running. So whenever any request comes, it's always is going to serve the request. Okay, it's always up and running. Okay. So these are the different attributes of the EFS system. So along with that, it's a simple to create, simple to attach to the and mount into the EC2 machines, and set and forget. Set and forget in the sense of you create the file system, you attach it, and you forget it. You don't have to worry about the growing and provisioning of the file system and growing the file system. So as and when the number of files and the file size grow, it automatically grow to that limit. So, and it is also supported by cloud and on-premises both equally. So same file system can shared among different machines and different on-premises as well as cloud-based machines. And it comes with the multiple storage classes. So depending upon the particular use case, a particular machines can be selected and provisioned. Okay. And it also available in single availability zone or multi availability zone, depending upon the requirement or depending upon the data redundancy we are going to support and the data availability use case wants. And the security is governed by identity and access management role and security groups. Okay, so these security groups process we are going to see when we are going to do the demo in the following session. Now, let's look at the higher level picture of where the EFS is going to reside in larger scheme of things. Let's look at the simpler picture first. So, in the containerized applications, wherein we have multiple machines, in Kubernetes orchestration, like so there are multiple container, and the containers are going to run on multiple machines, and the EFS can be shared among those multiple machines, and this is the perfect use case of the EFS file system. Maybe it's like a distributed systems, right? So say, same file system is going to be shared among different machines, okay, and can be read and write. Okay, this is one picture of thing, and another complex and little network related things, wherein our file system is shared among different subnets and different availability zones, and this is a AWS ecosystem, and within that we have a VPC, and out of that there is an AWS EFS file system. So this AWS EFS file system is shared among a different availability zone, and in those availability zone there are EC2 instances and network interfaces. So the network interfaces are are, are a kind of another layer by which the file system, I mean any particular EC2 instance is going to access the file system. So what happens is we create the VPC, and within VPC there could be multiple subnets. So VPC comes with certain certain IP addresses ranges, and the IP address ranges is shared among the ranges could be shared among different subnets. So here we have 4 subnets, okay, and one is going two are in 2C availability zone, US West region, okay, and one is there in the 2B availability zone, and 2A availability zone, one subnet is there in that. In particular, one subnet 2A, there are 2 EC2 instances which are running, and they are trying to access the EFS file system. And in the 2B, there is a subnet, but there is no EC2 instance as of now. But there is a net mount. Mount can be done via through the network interface, right? So network interface is there, as and when it requires, the EC2 instance machine can be attached with the subnet as well. So in the 2C, there is one subnet which has the, probably it's a private subnet which has the EC2 instance running, and that instance is interfaced with the network interface, and the mount is happening via that network interface to the EFS file system. So this is also a mechanism wherein EFS file system is shared among different machines, okay, in the AWS ecosystem. So let's go back to the the attributes like so what are the use cases it can support? So content management systems like media houses where lots of videos and lots of media files are available, and they are going to be accessed by multiple machines, right? So the media files, videographs, and those news storage can be happen can stored in EFS file system, and from the multiple locations, the shared drive can be accessed. And similarly, the big data applications, right? So big data applications, this EFS structure is very similar to the big data, distributed structure, wherein the map reduce things happen. So we map the data among multiple machines, and those machines do the some operations, and finally the aggregation and the reduced part happens, and final output is going to be thrown out of the process to the client or the user. So similarly, this is a this is a EFS system, and this is going to be shared among different machines, right? Different nodes. So this structure is very similar to the distributed applications. Therefore, the EFS system is very conducive for use in the big data applications. Right. With that, thank you so much.